Bada boom, bada bang, bada bop. We are back today with the April Daily Trainer Power Rankings. 5 best shoes on the market right now for stacking everyday miles. Now, if you are looking for a new shoe to stack everyday miles, or to glide in cushion comfort on your recovery runs, or to rip, blast some pace in Carbon County, make sure you're on the Supwell app. Supwell app is my app. It's the best buy, sell, and trade marketplace for hobby joggers out there. We have the best deals on running shoes because we have a lot of sickos in the community who buy shoes, have excess inventory, and then put them on the market unused or with only a few miles. So if you're looking for a new shoe, make sure you're on there. It's also the best, most supportive running community in the world. I'll venture to say that. Don't believe me? Just sign up and then you'll see. All right, enjoy today's video. It went from, oh man, it's nice, it's spring, to gosh dang, it is sweltering in a span of 2 days. That's crazy. I forgot that spring doesn't exist in the Carolinas. Spring is the period between Valentine's Day and April where it's raining 30% of the time, it's freezing 30% of the time, and then on the other 10 days, you remember what it feels like to have real seasons. Like up north. We got 4-mile recovery run. This was my slowest run of the week. 8:31 pace. Gosh dang. I think it's the heat combined with heavy legs in the Nike Vomero 18. There's always one run of the week that's unnecessarily difficult, and that was it. But yeah, we're going to go through top daily trainers on the market right now. We've been cranking on the power rankings every week on the Supwell Running Instagram. Make sure you're following us over there at Supwell Running. And first week of the month, we're doing daily trainers. So this is one of them right here. Nike Vomero 18. Just a solid shoe. I did the full review of it last week. Nike Vomero 18 is a shoe that a lot of people levy expectations on. Some people want it to be magic. Other people want it to be a brick. But for a run like this where I'm getting out here, just stacking some miles, moving the legs, it's a nice ride. So I'm going to go shower and then we can bang down to the street and get the rest of this list in. It is hot. All right, let's do this thing. April Daily Trainer Power Rankings. I don't know why I'm clapping. It's like, you guys ever seen the Steve Ballmer video when he was the CEO? Was he the CEO or the president of Microsoft? Whenever he was a big exec at Microsoft, he's getting on stage. Yeah! April Power Rankings! Y'all ready for some mileage? Number 5. Speaking of billionaires, they come in all different flavors. You have the Steve Ballmers of the world, and then you have the Warren Buffetts of the world. This looks like Warren Buffett right now. It's hard to get the all-white shoe dialed in when it's like this, but this is the Brooks Ghost Max 2, slotting in at number 5 on our best daily trainers list right now. And yes, that means I believe this is the 5th best daily trainer on the market. This is the 5th best shoe to go out and stack daily miles. This is the 5th best shoe when we're talking about versatility, comfort, price. Any of these shoes here, what is a daily trainer? It's a shoe that I could just put on and run. I'd be happy doing a 2-hour run in it. I'd be happy in a pinch doing a speed workout in it. But mostly for me, it's the shoes that I can comfortably stack mileage in that aren't too expensive. These cap out at $160 is the most expensive. Oh my goodness. Yeah, $160 is the most expensive here. The median price of these is $150. These are the job doers, and the Ghost Max 2 exemplifies the category to a T. This nails it. It has everything that I want in an everyday shoe. It has cushioning that is supportive, decently soft, but not too mushy, comfortable enough to go 90 plus minutes with some decent pep. Now, it is a heavier shoe. It comes in at 330 grams in my size, but what that weight is giving you in this package is padding in the upper, a wider base, and most importantly, a more robust foam feel that is not going to bottom out. I bet they have an AI for this. auto. You know, they do have an AI, but it's auto ISO, and I don't like doing auto ISO. I like manually adjusting the ISO so I can dial in the shot just so. This is an awesome shoe. If you are a bigger runner or you prefer a more supportive foam feel and you don't want a ton of shoe on foot, I would recommend the Ghost Max 2. The difference between this and something like the Puma Mag Max or the Asics Super Blast 2 is that this is heavy, yes, but it's not as tall and there's not going to be any fighting against the foam. It's also extremely protective. I only did one 20-mile double this week. I don't do that many 20-mile doubles anymore because they take it out of me and I'm trying to hammer my workouts. But on that 20-mile double, I used this for my afternoon run. That was my test of this shoe for the month, seeing is it still going to have its slot or one of these newer entrants going to knock it off, and it held on. It held on to the slot. The shoe that fell off this month, actually, very sad, Adidas Adizero SL2. I'm just not pulling for it, and I'm not seeing a whole lot of people pulling for it anymore. And the Nova Blast 5 does a lot of what that does for only $10 more expensive. So RIP SL2. But this one is still on there. It's a banger. You can also find it for sale, $120, $130 at a lot of places. Go into your local Dick's Sporting Goods if you want to get a good deal on it. All right, number 4, the shoe that I just ran in, Nike Vomero 18. Again, it's just a complete mess with the lighting out here today. A lot of the things that I just said about the Ghost Max 2 apply to this. Very similar weight, very similar stack height, very similar foam density. Difference is here you get a dual foam construction, so you get a top layer of ZoomX, which is their comfort bounce foam, and then a bottom layer of React X, which is their brick foam. No, it's not a brick. It's not very bouncy. However, in this shoe, it has softened up, it's broken in, and every time I run in this, I have a good run. It's one of those shoes that there's nothing special about it, but that's what makes it special for me. The full review I did was literally called the Nike Vomero 18. It is one of those shoes where I can just put it on and I don't have to think about it, but it does bounce me along slightly. Difference between other max cushion shoes and this, like the Nimbus, is that this isn't too soft, and I like that. This morning I ran in the More V5. I did the video that's going up today. It's going up today for me. If you're me, it's going up today. If you're you, it's either going up yesterday if you're watching this on the first day, but if you're watching this any day after the first day, it was going up on April 4th, 2025. More V5 is a very soft shoe. That is the ultimate in soft comfort. It is soft cushion comfort dialed up to 11. Now, it's not as soft as the 1080 V13. It's not as soft as the Saucony Endorphin Elite 2, but for this max cushion category, it's just about as soft as you can get in a 40 millimeter shoe, but it's also so pillowy comfortable. This is the alternative. This is the corollary to those types of shoes, to the Nimbus, to the More V5, even to the Neo Zen, which, spoiler alert, is coming in at number 3, and I'll talk about in a second. If you don't like soft max cushion shoes and you want a shoe to get the job done and you're a fan of Nike, get this thing. I'm so happy that Nike came out with a good daily trainer, because the world is a better place when Nike has a daily trainer that I can recommend to people. Some people just like running in Nikes. And so if that's the case, get this thing. You're not going to be disappointed if you are looking for a cushioned, comfortable shoe that you can go occasionally run hard in, because that's how 95% of people use running shoes. And sometimes that gets lost in the internet discourse of shoe sicko kingdom. But in the real world, this is one of the best running shoes out there, and that's why it's making number 4 on the list this month. All right, number 3. All about my yen. Big face Buddha in the Mizuno Neo Zen. This thing is a banger. This thing is the best soft shoe on the market right now. It has the soft cushion comfort, and it also has the bounce. I actually haven't run it, I don't think at all, in the last few weeks, because I just haven't been going for soft, and that's why it's number 3. That's not why it's not number 1 or number 2, but what it does is deliver the best cushion, comfortable, marshmallowy ride without being too mushy. And again, that's the difference between a More V5 and a Nimbus, and this shoe is it has more of that bounce. I'm not sinking down as much. I did some serious high mileage testing on this. What was it, 24 miles in 24 hours? That was back in February when I actually used to run high mileage. Now I'm just cruising at my normal altitude. But yeah, this stands up to high mileage. It stands up to faster daily runs. It can also be a viable recovery shoe. I noted this yesterday in the video I did with the Salomon AeroGlide 3. The biggest flaw of this, other than the upper, which you have to fight to get on your foot. By the way, Ghost Max 2 and Vomero 18 both have beautiful uppers. Vomero 18, that is an extremely dialed in cushioned upper. Is that Charles? No, it's not Charles. That's my neighbor's dad. I don't think his name is Charles. That'd be funny, right? Vomero 18 has a dialed upper. This doesn't have a dialed upper. What I was saying though is the biggest downside is going to be the stability. It has a narrow heel in softer foam. Out here on the paved, flat, suburban American roads is not a problem. But this is what I was saying yesterday. If you are running on a rockier terrain, if you're out in the UK, one of my hobby jogger blokes, and you're running on cobblestones. I grew up in a city, by the way, Lowell, Massachusetts, that has cobblestones everywhere. I would not be taking this up to the Mill City. I would be taking up the Vomero 18. And these are the trade-offs where you start to see, oh, now I understand why some people don't always want the most exciting shoe. Sometimes a reliable job doer like a Vomero 18 is going to be better. Likewise, if I were going to be on my feet all day, I wouldn't go for this thing either. If I were the type of person who takes one or two shoes on a work trip, I'm not going to be getting the Neo Zen for that use case. I'll be going for the Ghost Max 2 or the Vomero 18 because they're better for casual use. So now you're starting to see how we put these lists together. But if you are looking for an experience that is softer than anything else, bouncier than dang near anything else, and more cushioned than dang near anything else at a 250 gram weight. So this is the way to think about this. Bounce, 9 out of 9. Cushion, stack height, or 9 out of 10. What is 9 out of 9? Cushion, stack height, 9 out of 10. Softness, 9 out of 10. And the weight is a 9 out of 10. That is a hard combination. You usually have something like, if the cushioning is a 9 out of 10, the stack height is a 9 out of 10, but then the weight is going to be a 4. You can't dial them all up. This foam, this TPU, is a special compound because it evades a lot of those trade-offs. So this is the cool development, innovation product on the list. This is the one to get if you want something different. I was waxing poetic about the Nike Pegasus Premium a few months ago. This is a similar type of shoe. The package comes together in a way that makes it a more viable daily trainer for more people. The Pegasus Premium does have some other capabilities to it that this does not, namely that Zoom Air unit has such a floaty protective ride. But for $150, if you want a different fun experience, this is still the one to get. And again, that's why the SL2 fell off, because this is now the best soft bouncy shoe. SL2 does not have a place. All right, number 2 on the list, Asics Nova Blast 5. This was number 1 last month. This month is number 2 because of the AeroGlide. This is still a banger. Let me bring the AeroGlide out. We can't talk about why this fell without talking about the AeroGlide. Nova Blast is still a banger. The AeroGlide is just a better shoe. It comes together in a better package. The grip is gonna be better. The geometry is better. The foam is gonna stand up better to high mileage. Now, I only have about 50 or 60 miles on my pair of the AeroGlide, but from what I know about this beaded TPU and how it's performed so far and the lack of compression with the miles, I can tell this is going to be a more durable platform. So durability, and then just throwing that out, not thinking about durability, not thinking about the price, strictly ride experience. The AeroGlide is smoother. It's smoother, I have more confidence in it, and it also just gets out of the way better. Now, I sound like I'm down on the Nova Blast 5. I'm not. This is still a banger, $140, really lightweight. It comes in at around 270 grams in my size, which if you compare that to the Vomero and the Brooks Ghost Max 2, that's about 20% lighter than those two, which makes a difference on foot. It's also a great shoe if you want something that is more specialized to speed. So with a shoe like the Vomero 18 or the Ghost Max 2, those are going to be the daily trainers that lean more toward comfort, recovery, cushion. You're not going to be getting out here and goaded into ripping zone 4. With this thing, this is creamy, baby. I'm out here creaming, throwing down 625 miles for no gosh dang reason. That's what the Nova Blast 5 is. That's also one of the limitations of it. Yes, it's fun, soft, bouncy, on the softer side, not super soft. But like I was saying in the More V5 video, some of these shoes encourage us to run fast when we don't want to. Now, that is not a demerit to the Nova Blast 5, but I have just found through my testing so far that the Salomon is a better all-rounder, as the blokes say, right? This is the best all-rounder. That was kind of an Aussie accent. Should I run the London Marathon next year? I gotta do Sydney in London. I actually don't even want to do Boston that much. I want to travel. I want to see the world. Versatility. That's the name of the game for daily trainers, and that's why this is number one. In the words of Navadius Wilburn, thought it was a drought. I was searching for that shoe to fill the gap. Mag Max, comfortable shoe, bouncy shoe, but also a heavy shoe that I found myself at times having to accommodate a certain foot strike or run a certain way to optimize. The 1080 V13s of the world, soft. The Brooks Glycerin Max, soft. The Hoka Skyward X, super bouncy. This is threading the needle and filling that gap in the market right now where there's not really any other shoe at this $160 price point, which used to be the premium daily trainer price point. What does that mean? Premium, delivering an elevated experience, more comfortable, more cushioned, more capable daily trainer for everyday miles. There aren't a lot of shoes that are delivering on that promise. That's what the Vomero 17 did, and then the 18, they're taking it back to be more of a max cushion cruiser. But that's another one that is close to the spirit of what a premium daily trainer should do. But this is the one that best exemplifies it. You have the versatility, it's gonna last a long time. It's just as good for longer relaxed miles as it is for shorter jogs. You can take it to walk the dog, it can do anything. It's not gonna pay your mortgage because it's not a super blast, but it could do anything other than that. So if you were looking for a new everyday shoe in April 2025, this is now my number one pick. The Nova Blast still represents best value. It's $20 cheaper, but I would pay the additional $20 to this for this package, getting the better grip, getting the additional durability, getting the bounce of this foam over the Nova Blast 5 is just that good. So that's the April list. Tell me why you disagree, but I put the miles in and I stand by it. I stand by the list and I stand by the miles. Let me know what your top 5 is in the comments below. I appreciate you, and I'll be back tomorrow with another video.